With some rumored leaks on the PS Vita 2, I do want to talk a little bit about the original. This is the PS Vita, Sony's failed handheld console. During its first release, it had a very short lifespan in the market at that time. PlayStation Life is essentially what it translates to, Vita being life. At that time, when compared to other handhelds, it has failed, yes, but even with its failed time compared to other handhelds, I freaking love this thing. Since I was a kid, growing up playing on the PlayStation 1 all the way to the PlayStation 4, there were a couple of devices in between that I really loved carrying around with me. The first being the PSP, and then after that, the PS Vita. The only thing was that with the PS Vita, it was really expensive at the time, so I never got the chance to actually get it. But as I grew up, I was able to get my hands on my own. So this being the PS Vita 1000 with the OLED screen. To me, this is the best version. A little bit heavier, but it came with an OLED screen and I believe a stronger processor as well. I didn't get this one first. I actually got the PS Vita Slim first, PS Vita 2000. When I got this, I realized and found out from reading forums that the PS Vita 1000 is actually a lot better. I mean, if you do look at the PS Vita Slim, it is lighter and it fits really well in the hand. And there's a PlayStation logo on the back. Compared to the touchpad on the PS Vita 1000, you can only see the button texture on the back. And again, playing the games on the PS Vita 1000 was a lot better because it was a lot brighter, it was a lot faster in processing, and that OLED screen is just ahead of its time. When the PS Vita was released, it was also around the same time when the 3DS was released. So that was Sony's response to the 3DS. That's one of the main factors why the PS Vita really didn't do that well. Just at the time, the PS Vita did not have that big of a game library. There was also very expensive proprietary memory cards. For the PS Vita, if you wanted a 32GB memory card, it would be around like $120. And the device itself, also super expensive. On release, it was around $400. So those were some big factors. And going along with that, there was also poor advertisement campaigns as well. And I think the biggest reason why the PS Vita failed at that time was because 2 years later, the PS4 was released. And for the PS Vita to lose traction that quickly, it felt like Sony just prioritized a lot of their devs to the PS4 rather than the PS Vita. With the PS Vita's number of units being sold, it just did not compare to its predecessor, PSP. Which then brings us to the date that the PS Vita was officially discontinued. March 19, 2019. With the discontinuation of the PS Vita, it still did really well afterwards, I think. The PS Vita 1000, with its timeless design, really does hold up in 2024. It still became a lot of people's favorite nostalgic handheld. For me, it is one of my favorites and it really does bring me back to the time when I played a lot of PlayStation games. With the PS Vita 2000, they slimmed it down and took away one of the ports that was living on the PS Vita 1000. So on the PS Vita 2000, there is only that game cartridge slot at the top. So the metallic frame on the PS Vita 1000 is kind of what drew me to it. With its hefty feeling great in the hands, not too heavy, it does feel like a more premium product. I think the top port right here is some sort of HDMI or micro HDMI cable so you can connect it to what they had previously, the PlayStation TV. And the bottom port of the PS Vita is where those expensive memory cards would go. I ended up loving the PS Vita even more because of the tinkering. And when it comes to the tinkering, the biggest thing was homebrew. Now getting the homebrew on the PS Vita is pretty easy nowadays. It doesn't require the computer, it doesn't require you to connect your PS Vita to anything. All you would need is an internet connection and take about like a good 15 to 20 minutes. The plugins that I really like using on the PS Vita is Adrenaline, and it turns the PS Vita into the PSP, my second most used handheld back when I was a kid. Now for the games for the PS Vita, it's not quite hard to get those games. But since Sony closed the PS Vita and the PSP stores, I can only recommend you guys to download the games that you physically or digitally own. Now, other than that, I'm not really the one to stop you from doing what you want to do. Since I'm not really the one to be telling you what to do, there is a plugin on the PS Vita homebrew that kind of helps you get these games. And I'm not going to tell you which plugin, but I'm pretty sure you can find it easily on Google. The PS Vita does come with some really great titles like Assassin's Creed, Uncharted, Sly Cooper. You haven't heard that title in a couple of years, right? And to me, those are the games that I really played when I was younger on the PS2. And it comes to the main reason why I love the PS Vita. Now, getting the handheld console is not that hard. They have dropped in price and you can find them on eBay and even Amazon. Depending if you want them new in box, you can get them for around $130, $140 without the box on eBay. Before I picked up the PS Vita, they were ranging around $200 to $280. But since there were leaked rumors about the PS Vita 2, I can say that a lot of people are waiting for that new handheld. And because of that, the original PS Vita just kind of dropped down in price. So you can find them on eBay now for around $115 to $150 for an open box one. So these open box ones do come from Japan most of the time, and because of that, the PS Vitas do look like it's really close to mint new condition anyways. Like the 1000 one that I got from Japan, it's pretty new. There were no scratches whatsoever. I did just put a screen protector on it just to prevent any scratches in the time coming. And other than that, it still looks brand spanking new to me. There's this one, the 1000. This one, the 2000, still looks pretty brand new, right? And then the one that I had from a couple years back, this one I got for around $180 in a box, and it's still pretty new from eBay as well. So with the availability for the PS Vita, I think it's fairly easy to find. And that is the PS Vita. I really think it's worth a try. Even though you're not willing to mod the PS Vita, it's still worthwhile to be playing these hidden treasures on the PS Vita. There are a lot of games that haven't finished on the PSP, so to me, trying it on this OLED screen on the PS Vita, and people saying emulation is the best on its original device, it's kind of perfect for me to try, and I think it'd be worth the time for you guys to give it a try as well. Now, comment down below if you guys are going to pick up your own PS Vita or wait for the PS Vita 2. Again, it is still leaked rumors, so we're not sure where that's going, but I think it is around the corner. And please subscribe to this channel and give this video a like if you are part of the PS Vita community. Thanks again for sticking around. Share this video to anyone you know that owns the PS Vita, and have a good one. Peace.